Before making a video about what I think happened with the Trump and the whole attempt on his life, I didn't make a video right away because I kind of wanted to take a couple days to look at a bunch of different angles before I verify what maybe my gut instinct was or what opinions seemed to resonate the most with me. So after the after the situation, I listened to Fresh and Fitz Myron, and I listened to Jackson Hinkle, and I listened to a space that also had Nick Fuentes in it. And the main thing is, first of all, that the situation that happened with Donald Trump definitely wasn't just a lone actor thing. There does seem to be way more to the story than meets the eye, because like everything in life, there are layers to things. So the first question that came in my mind, was this a lone person, or was this someone on behalf of something else? And all I can say is that I didn't get the vibe that this guy was just in it for himself. Then there's the angle that the security totally screwed up, if you believe that sort of thing, or a lot of people are under the assumption that in order to rig something, in order to make it happen, you have to tell like the whole team. You have to tell, hey team, this is what we're doing. But in my thinking, if you were gonna rig a basketball game, or if these people were going to tell the security to screw up, they don't need to tell all the people. They only need to tell like 2 or 3 people, like you just whatever, like screw off and just be like playing on your cell phone and, you know, not be paying attention and be caught on camera, so that way you have plausible deniability. So that's why I think that it's the security thing, that's all after the fact. And I'm not really like too concerned about that. Like obviously there could have been improvement, but I'm not sure if it's because they just relied on the success rate that they've always had, security forces. So they're just like, yo, we don't need to worry about this, our threat assessments are good, whatever. But I'm not really digging that whole side of things either. My thinking is that the biggest business is military stuff, and military stuff can mean so much different things, so much for the economy. So when you have a guy like Donald Trump that is having people like Amber Rose and JD Vance, which is this like mixed type of guy, when you have these forces coming together, it's kind of like there's a lot of a non-grassroots bipartisan feel to it. So Donald Trump, like I've said in so many of my videos, that the reason I always liked Donald Trump was because he was able to go to North Korea, and he was able to bridge a gap that hadn't been done in a very long time, if ever. So when he did that, you really got the feeling that like, hey, this guy really puts his money where his mouth is. Like, this guy really walks that talk. Like, instead of doing a Zoom call meeting with the leader of North Korea, he actually goes over there. He's a rich guy. He doesn't really need to do all this extra theater. He's already like liked enough. He's already got a pretty loyal, dedicated fan base. But he went to North Korea, So he's been saying stuff like, when I get into power, I will end the war with Ukraine within 24 hours. Something like that, he says. Now, I just think that the people that are behind the scenes, that have an agenda, that have things in plan, that have plays they want to make, and to send billions and billions and billions of dollars away, they don't want some guy to just come in there and screw up their plans. So they tried to screw around with your boy. So that's what I think is the main number one reason for why I think this all happened. The next point of thinking is that now that this happened one time, would this open the floodgates to a lot of this sort of stuff happening all the time? Is this something that now people have to be thinking about a lot? Or is this a one-off thing? So there's that part of it. What next? Then it also comes down to, do they have to finish the job? So you just are thinking like, well, I wonder what the heck could happen now. Because Andrew Tate said something very interesting. He said that they first try to cancel you, then they try to put you in jail, and then finally they try to turn off the light switch. So yeah. Also, Candace Owens said that the JFK files have a lot of information that they don't want the public to know. And Donald Trump said that he was going to release the JFK files. I believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene also said the same thing. But as soon as the time comes to actually show it, they say, whoa, it's too dangerous. I can't risk it. So it's just like, if that is the real story, then what could you have more to the story? So I've been looking at people in the sense that, are you official story believer? I'm not really getting that vibe totally from a lot of people, but I do think that a lot of people are like, a lot of people are acting way more conspiracy theory-ish because the official establishment stories are so hard to believe. And now that there's J.D. Vance assigned as the VP, it's like a lot of compromises I feel like are being made. I feel like, is Trump getting into office more important than being the best in office? So does getting in office take priority over everything? Because J.D. Vance also seems like the perfect type of person. Because if you look at Kamala was half Indian, and J.D. Vance is like half Indian. So it's like, is that a DEI hire? You know, it smells like a DEI hire. Is it a DEI adjacent hire? Or he really felt like he was the best guy ever? So you gotta really be thinking about things. Also, if you look at the lockdowns, the situations going on in Russia and Ukraine, and this event that happened, you're not supposed to keep them in a linear trend line thinking of what that does to everyone's psychology and their freedoms and the overall lowering of standards of living. Like, COVID made a lot of restaurants shut down, a lot of different type of problems happened with that whole thing. Now Ukraine there's a war going on over there, and push comes to shove, there's going to be a draft. And then now this happens. Could they be all linked? Could this all have the same players in the background that are working with all this? No way. No, there can't be. No. I wonder. So this channel is more like, we only have, the only thing that the average person can do really is just think. There's not, like, realistically, the machine is really big. Good luck changing anything in a good way or a bad way. You're never gonna do anything. But if you can think, if you could just think that, I need to think about it, wow, we could have some really amazing results. So please leave a like and subscribe and help out the little channels. Thank you.